With the end of support for Windows 10 approaching on October 14th, 2025, you might be considering a switch to the free and open source operating system Linux. If you have a decent PC or laptop that doesn't meet the requirements for Windows 11, or if you simply prefer not to upgrade to it, you've come to the right place. In this video, we'll guide you through the entire process of switching from Windows to Linux, including tips on how to make your new Linux installation feel more familiar. So, stay tuned. In this video, we've chosen an HP laptop that's still functioning well but struggling to keep up with Windows 11. Just to clarify, this laptop doesn't actually meet the requirements to run Windows 11. We installed it for testing purposes, using some widely available workarounds. Additionally, the laptop is running Office 2016, an older version of the suite that will also lose support on October 14th, 2025. This raises the question, does it really make sense to continue using Windows on this machine? Let's explore how we can resolve this issue by installing Linux. First things first. Before you do anything else, it's essential to back up your data. This step is crucial because the process of completely removing Windows and installing Linux will wipe all data, including your personal files. In our case, we copied all of the data from the home folder in Windows to a USB flash drive. We also backed up other important information such as browser bookmarks so we can easily restore them once Linux is installed. There are a few other prerequisites to complete before diving into the Linux installation. For example, we logged out of Office 2016 to ensure you can use your registration key on another machine if needed. We also logged out of our online accounts in the default browser, including email and services like Dropbox. Sometimes online services, especially free tiers, limit the number of logins, so it's important to log out on the machine you plan to wipe. If you have any cloud services installed, make sure to log out and uninstall their applications, just as we did with Dropbox. We also unlinked the machine from our Dropbox account. The next step is also crucial. You need to create a live Linux USB. This is the drive from which you will install Linux on your machine. For this video, we have chosen to install Ubuntu, which is perhaps the most popular version of Linux. Start by visiting Ubuntu's official site to download the ISO file. For this video, we'll be installing the latest version available at the time of recording, which is Ubuntu 25.04. This is a short-term support release, but the process would be the same if you opted for the long-term support release, which is generally advisable. We have already downloaded the ISO file and placed it in the Downloads folder. Next, insert an empty USB flash drive into your machine and run an application for creating live USB drives such as Rufus. Select the empty USB drive as the destination. Choose the ISO file from your Downloads folder and then click the Start button. And that's it. Just wait for Rufus to complete the process. Now plug the newly created live USB flash drive into your machine. Before proceeding, you need to set the stage for a successful Linux installation. This means entering the BIOS and disabling certain settings that are configured for Windows. These settings can complicate the installation of Linux. In our case, we accessed the BIOS by pressing the F10 key. For your machine, refer to your PC or laptop's documentation or search online for the correct key combination. Once in the BIOS, we disabled Fast Boot, Secure Boot, and Legacy Mode to ensure that Linux can install smoothly. After making these changes, save your settings and exit the BIOS. Now you are all set to wipe out Windows and install Linux. The next step is to restart your computer with the live USB flash drive plugged in. Press the required key combination to enter the boot menu. In our case, it was the F9 key. From the list that appears, select the live USB flash drive and press the Enter key. In the next window, choose the option to try or install Ubuntu. Now we arrive at an extremely important step, so take your time here. It's essential to check if your machine supports Linux. Start by ensuring that your screen displays correctly. Then verify that the live system has recognized your Wi-Fi card, audio card, and any other essential hardware. In our case, everything was functioning properly, which means that Linux can be safely installed on the HP laptop. It's time to begin the Linux installation. Double-click the installation shortcut on the Ubuntu Desktop. First, select your preferred language. If you don't have any accessibility needs, proceed to the next screen and choose your keyboard layout. Make sure the keyboard is set to the layout you are accustomed to. Next, connect to your Wi-Fi network, or plug in your network cable if you prefer that option. You may see an update available for the installer, but you can safely skip this step. In the next window, if you are a beginner user, select the interactive installation option. Then choose the extended selection, which is designed for novice users. If you want your drivers and media formats to work right out of the box, check both boxes when prompted on the proprietary software screen. Now we reach the point of no return. Since we intend to wipe out Windows and install Linux, select the option to erase disk and install Ubuntu. We'll skip file system encryption and move on to the next step, which is creating your Linux account. Here, enter your name, username, and choose a password for your system. Next, select your time zone. Now, take a moment to review your choices on the following screen. If you are satisfied with everything you've done so far, click the Install button. Now, all you can do is sit back and wait while the installer completes the process, which usually takes around 10 minutes at most. Let's check if everything is in order. First, we need to reboot the machine and remove the installation USB flash drive. Now, let's log into your newly installed system. Everything appears to be functioning as it should, so now we move on to the easiest and most enjoyable part, customizing your Linux system to fit your needs. Right away, Ubuntu will notify you that updates are available. But first, let's address the Ubuntu welcome screen. Ubuntu will ask you if you'd like to help improve the system by sharing your system data with the Ubuntu team. This is optional, so you can choose whether or not to participate. Next, Ubuntu will prompt you to open their software store, but for now, we'll just click the Finish button. The next step is to install the system updates that Ubuntu has already offered. After that, open the App Center application, as certain app updates are managed through it. Click on the Manage tab on the left side of the window and then click the green Update All button. And that's it. All the updates have been completed. Now let's focus on installing the apps you need for your everyday tasks. During the installation process, we chose the extended selection for Ubuntu, which means the free and open source Office suite LibreOffice is already installed on the system. We have previously covered how to install the proprietary Microsoft Core fonts in many of our videos. Once you've done that, open the Writer app, go to the Tools tab and select Options. Here you can change the default font to your preferred choice. If you're not a fan of the default user interface in Writer, you can easily modify it by selecting the View tab and then clicking on the User Interface option. When the new window appears, choose the tabbed User Interface variant. By default, Writer saves files in ODT format. However, if you need the standard docx format, you can set that as the default. Go to Options, then Load and Save, and under the General tab, select the option to always save documents as docx. Now Firefox is the default web browser in Ubuntu. We restored it to its previous state, just like it was in Windows 11, by deleting the default bookmarks and importing the bookmarks file we saved earlier. To install the apps you need, head to the App Center. For this video, we will install Audacity, a free and open source audio editor. Simply find it in the search bar at the top of the App Center window and click the Install button. After a short while, the app will be added to your system. In addition to Firefox, you might want a Chromium-based browser. In the App Center, you can find Chromium, a free and open source web browser that serves as the foundation for several popular browsers, including Google Chrome. After installation, we also imported our previously saved bookmarks and customized the app to suit our preferences. By default, Ubuntu has a different look compared to what novice users may be accustomed to. At the top of the screen, you'll find a top bar. In the right-hand corner, there's a quick menu that provides access to features like Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, airplane mode, settings, volume, and more. In the center of the top bar, you'll see your calendar and notifications. On the left side of the screen, there's the Ubuntu dock, which contains several pinned apps. In the lower left corner, you'll find the Ubuntu button, which opens the full-screen app menu, displaying all installed apps except for those pinned on the Ubuntu dock. Here you can also access a search bar to look for files and apps, as well as manage your workspaces. If you're not a fan of the default desktop background, changing it is easy and similar to the process in Windows. Users can also select a different accent color for their desktop. You can reposition the Ubuntu dock, for example by moving it to the bottom of the screen and disabling the panel mode. This may make it feel more familiar. To remove certain apps from the dock, simply right-click on the app and choose the option to unpin it from the dash. Conversely, if you want to add an app to the dock, go to the full-screen list of installed apps, find the app you want, right-click it, and select the option to pin it to the dock. The final step is to insert the USB flash drive where you previously saved your personal data and copy that data back into the home folder on Ubuntu. Additionally, unlike some other Linux distributions, Ubuntu allows users to create folders on the desktop, which is a familiar practice for those coming from Windows. Did everything go smoothly? Well, not quite. There's been a glitch with handling USB flash drives. When you insert a USB flash drive, Ubuntu doesn't open it automatically. which is a behavior many users are accustomed to in Windows. Instead, you need to open the Files app and click on the USB flash drive to access it. Moreover, app image files, those that allow certain apps to run without being installed on the system, do not work by default in modern versions of Ubuntu. To enable this functionality, you'll need to enter a command in the terminal. However, this raises the question of whether this is a good practice for novice users who may be hesitant to delve into the command line. Overall, Ubuntu has revitalized the HP laptop, and now it runs smoothly without any lag. After all, you'll encounter glitches and bugs even in proprietary operating systems that you have paid for, so it's understandable to find some in a free and open source option like Ubuntu. What do you think about switching to Linux? Have you tried it yourself? If you are an experienced user, is there anything you would do differently? Feel free to share your thoughts in the comment section below. Also, do not forget to give us a like, share the video, and subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.